Volleyball Championships, joined by head coach Greg Walker, student athletes Taylor Quinn and Abby Hunt. Coach, if we could just start with an opening comment, and then we'll have a few questions for you.
Yeah, well, first off, I just want to give a lot of credit to Endicott and just what an amazing season they've had. We've talked to our team about just the success that their program's had over the last couple of years and having 10 NCAA tournament appearances and just being able to win their conference over and over again. They've done a great job. So credit to them and their student athletes. So. And then also incredibly proud of what our team was able to put together there, and it just keeps getting better. So, yeah.
What does this one mean to you in the context of everything you've done since coming in to turn this program around?
Yeah, I think that we've talked about being in this position and like what it just the process. Yeah, this year we've talked so much about process and just being able to stay on path to that. I know as a coach sometimes it's easy to get caught up with the wins and losses, but this group's been really amazing with staying on that path of process. And I think the coolest part is that there was a lot of trust when our athletic director Kristen Hughes and their committee made the decision that they wanted this program to be in this spot. So. I just overwhelmingly grateful to our institution and the leadership that entrusts us with being able to get this program here.
You do with the student athletes, a little bit of a history maker today, first NCAA winning program history. Talk about the match, but also being a part of something special like that as well.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I feel really grateful to be here in general. I feel like I'm playing on bonus time because of my COVID year, so I'm a grad student. And so I go into every game just like really excited to be here at all. And it's not a given that you walk into a team with a really good culture that's already been built and been worked really, really hard to build. And the leadership and the seniors, there's a lot of them this year, and they've done a really good job over the past 4 years of building that leadership. And it's a privilege to walk into a team that has that. So that wasn't a guarantee by any means, but to be able to get to a level that I personally never thought I would get to in my volleyball career. And then to do it with a group of people who care so much about each other is just really, really special.
I think like the past 3 years that I've been here, this is just, I knew we were going to end up here at some point, and we were just like, all of us were waiting for that moment to just click where like we knew we were going to have a winning season. And the start of the season was just great, and we just kept that momentum going, and all that hard work has led us here, and we're not done. Like, we have so much fight in us that we've just been holding on to for all these years, like rebuilding this program. And so like now it's time to like prove that like Smith is like a powerhouse in volleyball.
Coach put together a challenging early season schedule to kind of help prepare you for November, really. You won that conference championship, and now you're here in the NCAA. What was the idea of putting that schedule together to challenge them, even if it meant maybe you'd drop a few?
Well, a big part was like the confidence that we had, like just during periods of the year. I learned coming back in Division III for the amount of matches that we had, trying to be really strategic on, when we were playing certain like stronger weeks and being really strategic about it. Truly the advantage we have too is that like we are supported from our administration standpoint that we can play heavier match weekends. We could play 4 matches on a weekend. We have an incredibly deep bench, and not so much where it's like like this stack of players. There's so much competition within each position, and there were opportunities in the season where it gave us chances to really challenge that. So, and it kept everybody hungry. So honestly, when we structured the season, that's how we wanted it to be. We wanted to have 2 early pods where we were pretty heavy competition, and then that last run before we ended our postseason. So it just all came together perfectly. This group and our leadership did such a good job just staying focused on everything. So it couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah, going off of that, 2 members of that deep bench are your captains, Ari Cross and Olivia Smith. You got them both on the floor for that match point at the end. To the players or to you, Coach, talk about what their leadership has done to get your group here.
Oh, I'll go real quick. So I just feel a tremendous amount of joy for them. We left our captains and leadership in place for the last couple of years. I think every year when we had the conversation, even within our staff, about leadership and where we're going, like, we were a big believer and we need to stay on the process. And they, every year, were able to take a step forward and say, like, here's our blind spots, here's where we need to get better. Our staff just immensely trust them for what they do for this team, and the amount of community they build within the institution as well. I mean, it's pretty incredible with the senior class. So I mean, it's a big part of it. I always think back to in their recruiting process for this entire senior class. Like, they committed to an institution, they trust a new coach coming in to a program that hadn't had a lot of success recently. And so they made the choice to choose us. And I constantly thank them and their families for making that decision, because, that was something that I kept telling them. I was like, this is in the future, and, I'm just glad we could deliver on it. So.